My name is Meka Albania Osharal, and welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth of the only true God, who is Yahweh, and the church. Happy Shabbat. Happy Shabbat. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to get so serious with you and so up and personal with you. And I'm going to tell you right now that some of you will be offended by things I have to say. I want to just bring to your attention that no prophecy of scripture came about by the prophet's own interpretation, but holy men spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. I also want to share with you that the word of Yahweh is sharper than a double-edged sword. It penetrates the dividing soul and spirit of thunder, mind, and marrow, and it judges what? The attitude of the heart. So the things that you're about to hear will offend some of you. It is impossible, ladies and gentlemen, to preach truth and don't offend people. Impossible. Let me say that one more time. It is impossible to preach the truth and don't offend people. Now, my goal here, ladies and gentlemen, as a disclaimer, is not to offend you. That's not my goal here. My goal here is for you to discern for yourself the truth. And that is why Truth Matters Broadcasting is so important to this fact, because it's a place where you can discern for yourselves the truth about religion, the king of Yahweh, and the church. Now, I've learned this today, and I'm going to share it in a clip. I'm going to share about 2 or 3 clips with you today of things that's just going to make you think. And if I could just get you to think, ladies and gentlemen, if I could just get you to think, I just want you to think. Can you do that today? Can you promise me that you're going to think for yourself? One of the biggest problems we're having today, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to matter of the heart, is that people are not thinking for themselves. You need someone to think for you. Do you know that the so-called leaders of our time believe that people cannot lead themselves, that people need a leader? And they created 2 parties, and they make you choose between the 2 parties. But what you don't realize that there's who's the puppet master that is controlling both parties. Thesis and antithesis. It's like yang. One saying one thing and opposite the next thing. It's like Malcolm and Martin. It's like Malcolm and Martin Luther. One is like war, and one is like peace. That's how you destroy a nation. You just give them 2 sides and then you come in from under, swoop them up. And that's what's been happening to our history. A wise man once said, whosoever controls your past controls your future. Let me say that one more time. Whosoever you and can your life will change forever. Truth, ladies and gentlemen, absolute truth. Not just for one people or one ethnicity. Absolute truth is for everybody. So let me just put that out there. Absolute truth is for everyone, because we all play an intricate role when it comes to truth. But truth has its place, and it's numbered, ladies and gentlemen. Every hair on our head is numbered. Truth is numbered, starting from 0. Everything in life has its place. I once lost a group of people because I said these words that offend some people. I said a woman must know her place. That offends some people because today we're in the sphere of a woman don't need a man. I don't need a man. I got my own education. I got my own money. I got my own house, my own car. I'm very successful. I don't need a man. You see, you don't know your place. That's why you were able to say something like that, because you don't know your place. A woman was created specifically for a man. Come on now. You weren't created for God, Yahweh. He created you for a man. And whether you like it or not, whether you want to understand, believe it or not, you're with and beside your husband. And if you don't have a husband, you're incomplete. And if the husband don't have a wife, he also is incomplete, knowing your place you were created for. Many women today want to outshine their men. Many women today want to be the leader. And that's why now today we have leaders of churches who are ordained ministers who are women. That is unheard of if you're reading the scriptures, ladies and gentlemen. You have a woman prophet in the church. Woman prophet, yes. Woman judge, yes. But you don't have a woman priest. It's not written here. A woman cannot be the head of a church. Not in scriptures. Maybe in pagan religion, in this world's religion, but not in the kingdom of the Most High God. You don't see no woman shepherd, ladies and gentlemen. There is no woman shepherd unless her husband dies and she has to go tend to the flocks. You see what I'm saying? Unless she has children, then the children will tend to the flocks. But if she doesn't have children, or if the children are small, the woman would tend to the flock until a replacement. No woman priest. Look through the entire scriptures, you will not find one. There's no woman shepherd, ladies and gentlemen. Yahweh has never put a woman to shepherd her flocks, ever. So when I said I will not be under a woman pastor, women get offended by that, but it's okay. It's okay to be offended. Because if we live in a world that we have constitutional rights, then my words are protected by my freedom to the Constitution of this great country, the United States of America. You may not like it. I may not like what you say. But as long as you're not being derogatory and bashing and abusive with your words, you're not breaking no laws. Whosoever control your past, control your future. And if you don't know your past, you're lost. And on these premises this morning, I tell you, I'm so curious to hear what I'm going to say because I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm guided right now. I didn't write this down. I didn't sit down and study it out. I'm speaking. So I'm curious. So after this, I'm going to go back and watch these things. But I know today's message is powerful. And the title of today's is Sent to the Lost of Yahushua. Sent to the lost sheep of Yahushua, a.k.a. Israel. The Mashiach, the anointed one, was sent to the lost sheep, Yahushua. He was not sent to the world, though there's a scripture that says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish and have everlasting life. Because God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but through him the world might be saved. You must understand the context of this message. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you have to go back. You have to go back to the past in order to understand where you are right now, in order to understand where you're supposed to be, and in order to understand where you're going. This is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. Very important. Listen to this. Yeshayahu, which everyone calls Isaiah today. Isaiah 45 and verse 22. Look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth. For I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I have sworn by myself. The word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness and return, that unto me every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. Surely shall one say in the Most High, have I righteousness and strength, even to him shall man come, and all that are incensed against him shall be ashamed. In the Most High shall all the seed of Yahushua be justified and shall glory. This God who created the heavens and the earth, the seas and all that in them is, rested on the Shabbat day and blessed this day. He called it holy. This is the day. When you hear that scripture, this is the day the Lord has made, we will be glad and rejoice in it. It's not talking about any other day except the Shabbat day. And you must understand creation. That's why you got to go back. Isaiah 46 and a verse 8 says, remember this. Come on now. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to my mind. That means you were told. He wants you to remember, ladies and gentlemen. The very word means to call back into existence of what you have seen or heard yesterday or moments ago. To remember is to come back to what was. You can't remember something unless it was told to you. Come on now. Can I get a amen? Somebody say or a thumbs up. I want to get a thumbs up from your emoji, a heart, something to show me that you're in agreement with me. Okay? They say in Jamaica to my sister and friend Audrey. I love this sister, man. Faithful and true to the bitter core, the bitter end, even in the means of adversity. She was faithful. Man, one day she'll tell you her story. Faithful. Faithful to the mother of the man who treats you like garbage. And that's because you're a child of Yahushua. I love you, sis. I am honored to be your brother. Honored. And I think I'm your younger brother, right? I think you're older than me. Okay, if you're joining me, sent to the lost Yahosharal. If you don't know what Yahosharal is, it's aka Israel. The actual, I'm telling you, we have been lied to for so long that we just accept any and everything. We never research why, because those who taught us control our past. They gave, stole our languages. They stole our culture. They've been stealing this from the beginning of time. You don't need eyes to see this. Whether you're white, black, blue, red, green, you don't need eyes to see. If you are intelligent and can just click some buttons and do some research, you that your history is not your history. You will lives, and where you are today is not where you should be. You will see it. Everything will run in its right place, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, when the Most High God created the heavens and earth, he created the sun, moon, and stars on the fourth day. He didn't create it on the first day. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, a day is not consist on the solar or lunar time sets. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. So when you measure in the time and you measure in the day, know that you're off by 3 days. Come on, somebody. Give me them emojis. Let me know that you're hearing what I'm saying. Add a crown to the thing here. I put 20 crown. I just put that up there because this is part of the thing. I'm not looking for no crown. I'm going to get one in glory. I'm wearing one right now. King. I know who I am. You know what I mean? Right? So whatever you're measuring, you're going to be off by 3 days because a day is not consistent on the sun, moon, and stars. If you're a sun, moon, and star gazer. A days consist based upon the fact that the Most High God spoke it. And the evening and the morning was the first day. Second day, evening and the morning was the third day. And on the fourth day, he made the sun, moon, and star. And he said, let them be for signs, and let them be for season, and let them be for months and for year. That was for us. Think about it now. And the Bible says he created two great lights. One to govern the day and the other one to govern the night. So, ladies and gentlemen, if the moon bring her face out in the daytime, she will give her light. Somebody, talk to me. Talk back to me here. If the moon come out in the daytime, she will not give her light. You can see her silhouette. You can see her image, but you will not see her light because the sun outshines the moon. A matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the moon gets her light from the sun. Come on now. Am I speaking truth here? So we must understand this. The moon at night, just like the freaks, the moon comes out of light at night, ladies and gentlemen. A woman is like a representation of the moon. A man is like a representation of the sun. The man was designed to shine brighter than the sun, than the moon. To help the man. Not to be his slave, his servant, our subordinate to him, but to help him. After sin, after the woman is a curse. Say curse. Yes. All women are cursed. But check this out. All men are cursed too. Cursed to do what? You see, that's a question. A curse, an action. It's an action word. The woman is to bear children in pain and agony. But not only that, to serve her husband. Go look at the scriptures. And your husband shall rule over you. I wonder why. Because the woman went off and did her own thing. And because she was deceived, because of her deception, she was able to deceive her husband. who was also curious, and sin entered the earth. You notice when the woman ate the fruit, the eyes of both of them did not open. Did you notice that when the woman ate the fruit, her eyes didn't open at all? It's when she gets the man to eat the fruit is when their eyes were open. We must understand the structure of how Yahweh created things. And once we understand structure and stay within us, we're going to see things we have never seen before. Now, I was talking to my daughter about that today, and my daughter said, Dad, people definitely going to be offended by your message. And you need to try to help them to see more than what you're just saying. And so, as I hear what she's saying, I'm thinking how to present this to you. But one of the things that I've learned over the years, ladies and gentlemen, is when you present truth, you try to be as tactful as you can, because there's certain you on this thing, right? There's really no freedom of speech anymore. You're being censored for your safety. No, we don't want you to be offended. The truth offends. I have not come, he said, the Mashiach. He didn't say, I have not come to bring peace on earth, he said, but with a sword, to rend, to separate, to divide. Y'all don't understand. You're reading this Bible, you're reading it, but you don't see it. You don't perceive it. And it takes preachers, it takes men and women of God to stand up for truth so that people can actually see it. God did not create the woman to be a slave to the man. That was never his intent. The Bible said he created him, male and female, created he them. And the Bible said he blessed them. He never just blessed them. And he commanded them to be fruitful and multiply. They were to work together. But after sin, they were cursed. Ladies and gentlemen, they were cursed. And we're still under that curse. Many people think at the cross, Yahushai, aka Jesus, took the curse unto himself, free of the curse. If we are free of the curse, I'm going to tell you something, we'll be free of sin. That's number one. We'll never be able to sin again. That's number one. That's number two. And number three, ladies and gentlemen, we would not be able to sin again. The mere fact that you can sin, you're still under a curse, because sin is a curse. The punishment to sin is death. And the very fact that people are still dying, the curse is lifted, not lifted yet. What Yahushua did on the cross was, ladies and gentlemen, what he did on the cross was he take the punishment for the children of Yahushua, not the world. But anyway, you see, because you're reading this mistranslation, you will never understand what I'm saying. But if you can bring yourself to just listen and then do your own research, you. All right. Yashayahu, aka Isaiah 46 verse 8 said, remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O you transgressors. Remember the former things of old. For I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. In the end, from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do my pleasure. The original controller of our past, ladies and gentlemen, is Yahweh. I dare you to call upon that name. Yah-oh. I messed up there. I kind of like, you can hear the. Yes. There's no name like that name. It's the jealous name. It's the name that you must not take in vain. It's the name that he will not hold you guiltless if you take it in vain. It is the true name. But you were given. Let's get into some serious. I'm gonna get deep with you today. Stick with me because I'm gonna get deep. I'm gonna get so deep, it's gonna scare some of you. The truth is for everyone. And ladies and gentlemen, today I'm asking you to know your place. This is not about just the woman. It's about the men. It's not about just the men. It's about your ethnicity. It's not only about your ethnicity, but it's about your culture. It's not only about your culture. It's only about your nation, but it's about your government. It's not only about your government, it's about your religion. It's not only about your religion, but it's about your life. It comes back to the truth, and Yahweh is truth. And he sent his Mashiach in the name of truth. So let's get into the scriptures here. If you have a Bible, open it. Open your Bible if you have one. Come on. Got too many things open here. All right, so I want to read you something here from Got Questions. This is powerful. Like I said, I don't subscribe to any biblical references on anywhere, but some of the time when you're reading some things and you're hearing some truth, you can recognize truth and you can snatch that out. But the organization behind the truth, I'm not a part of them. Because you know why? I'm not a part of any organization on this planet. You want to know why I'm not a part of any religion on this planet? You want to know why I'm not a part of any church on this planet or any government on this planet? Let me tell you why. Because the kingdom of heaven is not of this earth. Need I say any more? Why did Yahushua say that he was sent only to the lost sheep of Yahushua? You'll find that in Matthew 15, verse 20. Yahushua was in an area, a coast in Ekim, northeast Galilee. Matthew 15:21. When a Canaanite woman came to him with a request to heal her demon-possessed daughter. For a while, Yahushua did not respond to the woman's entreaties him and continued to beg for mercy. Finally, the disciples, feeling that the woman was a nuisance, asked Yahushua to send her away. Then Yahushua said, I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Yahushua. Now, I want you to put yourself at that time, walking in the crowd, seeing what happened. When you read the scriptures, don't just read it. It's not a novel. It's not just a story. It's an event that happened in times. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. This book here that we so revere as the Bible, it simply means a collection of books. It's a library. It's a library. Okay? It was comprised over about 1,000 years in the 20th or 200th century BCE or something like that, somewhere around there. I have a history on the Bible, so you gotta go look at it, man. You gotta see it. This is not something that was just comprised over. I understand something, that when Yahushua, aka so-called Jesus, came to the planet, he never preached New Testament. There was no New Testament. Okay? New Testament is a new concept, and it was designed to lead you away from the truth. Yo, now listen to me. Now, hear what I'm saying? Now. Testament. Most of you are new Christians, and you don't have a clue what's going on here. So let me just say it in the words that I think you will understand. Can I say it in the words that I think you would understand? Give me an emoji, thumbs up, something. Jesus is not a Christian. If you can bring yourselves to understand fundamental truth, then and only then will your eyes be open and your ears will be open and you'll be able to understand Jesus, so-called. That's not his name. His name is Yahushai, or Yahushai for short. It means Yahweh alone is salvation. That's what it really means, but who wants to hear these? He's not a Christian. He's not religious. The great God of heaven, the eternal one, who knows the end from the beginning, has never called us ever to be a religion or religious. You look up some of the meaning of the name religion. You know what it means? To bind. You know what the mind is? Lock, to hold. Okay? It's a trap. Religion is a trap. You are called to be sons and daughters of the Most High God. But you need to understand the criteria of what that means, because some of us are Gentiles. Some of us are strangers. And let me tell you something. A stranger child in the same. You must understand the terminology. You must understand that the God of heaven, Yahweh, dealt only with the children of Yahushua. But at some point, people will join themselves to him. At some point, people will come to him and ask for things. And because of their faith, ladies and because they believe, no one can come unless they believe. And here's another thing. No one can come unless the Most High God draws them. Here's the thing. God, Yahweh, has Gentiles. People that are not of this fold. I said, I must bring them to listen. He didn't come and go over there and start a new fold and a new pen and a new leadership and a new day for them. No, ladies and gentlemen. He went over there and he grabbed them, put them on his shoulder, and he brought them back. When a sheep is lost, he don't go up there and say, you run away, let's start a new thing over here. No, he went after the sheep and he finds the sheep and he. That is why the Most High God said, return to me and I will return to you. You got to type stop in the comments. Say stop. Is messing up again here. Let me see if I can go on line and make sure I'm on the right one. My from connecting to the 5G. See, I just lost signal again. And it's connected. I'm securely connected to the 5G network, but I'm losing signal. Air, which is the devil himself. always seems to interrupt these proceedings. Ears to hear, let them hear. I'm not going to even worry about that. I'm going to preach. Whatever you hear, you hear. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, we must stop, not change lanes and go forward, not choosing another direction to go forward. If you're going forward, you're lost. Anyone hearing me today? If you're going forward, you're lost. You got to stop. You got to turn around. You got to go back. You got to stop. You got to turn around. You got to go back. Return to me. The world is going further and further away, evolving. You know that word evolve? Yahweh didn't create us to evolve. That evolvement and is going away from God. Yahweh has created us to be constant. Let's break down this Matthew 15 now. Let's break this down now. Where was the woman from? She was a Canaanite from the region of Tyre and Sidon. She wasn't of the tribe of Yahusha. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying here? She wasn't of the tribe of Yahusha, and he was not sent to any other nation but the nation of Yahusha, aka Israel. So when the Canaanite woman come up to him, please help, my daughter has a demon. He totally, 100% ignore her. No matter how much she begs, she ignore her. Notice something here, ladies and gentlemen. It's only when the disciples him and say to him, please send the woman away. The woman is nagging us. Now, who was he sent to? He was sent to the children of Yahushua. Who are the disciples? The children of Yahushua. It is only when they got involved that he got involved. Let's read it again. Canaanite woman, very interested. Who is Canaan? Who is Cain? I know who Cain is. Who is Cain? Cain is the brother, the older brother of Abel. Cain is a murderer. Cain has an unrepented heart. Even when Yahweh came to him, knew his intent, and come to him and said, the gift you brought to me is not the gift I require. Go back and do what's right. If you obey my voice, you'll be accepted. But if you don't, sin is gouging at your door and it desires to have you, but you must master it. You must overcome it. You think he would have learned something. You think he said, yes, Papa, you're right. Let me go get the gift you actually required. But instead, he went and hate his brother because his brother's gift was accepted. And here's the thing. Cain didn't keep sheep. Cain was a till off the ground. So he would have to go to his brother, his younger brother, and ask for a sheep. So his pride led to his abuse, led to murder. He killed his brother. And when he thought he could have get away with it, God, Yahweh, came to him and asked him a question. Where's your brother? And what did I'm not my brother's keeper, man. I don't know where he is. And then Yahweh said to him, listen, I know what you've done. I see you. I seen what you've done. As a matter of fact, your brother's blood cried to me underground. Y'all know the rest. You need to read that story. Canaan is the land that Canaanite established. He went and he built a city there. And that his whole lineage, the Canaanite lineage, were rebellious against the God of heaven. It was so bad that God himself, Yahweh, sent his children, the children of Yahushua, to go possess the land of Canaan. Go look at it. Canaan was the luscious land. Why was it luscious? Because Cain know how to plant and plant vegetables and vegetarians and stuff like that. But he was a curse. Everything he planted would have been cursed. So of course he teaches children and his children and whoever joined Canaan. So the land was plentiful. It was actually a land flowing with milk and honey, say the Most High God. There's something I want you to learn. Not because you're an evil person doesn't mean that you still can be blessed. If you understand the principles of the Most High God, and if you understand that his words cannot return to him void, like he said, his word cannot return to him void. So whatever he said is eternal. That's why whether you're rich, poor, evil, or good, you plant a seed in that ground, it's going to produce. Because God is on it. So this woman was a descendant of Cain. Okay. But the story goes, the event goes, come on. When the disciples got involved, then Yahushua said, I was not sent but to the lost sheep of Yahushua. We should understand Yahushua's word here, not as outright rejection of the Gentile. Moments later, he healed the woman's daughter. Matthew 15:28. But how and why? Because Yahushua said, it is not right for me to take the children's bread. What's the bread? The word of, and to the dogs, their dogs. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. The woman understood what Yahushua was saying. Do you? Do you? But the woman was smart, you see? Because the woman had an objective, and the objective was to get help for her daughter at any cost. So the woman said, yes, you're right. See, she accepts the fact. She accepts some facts about herself, about her culture, about her place in the realm. And she said, even the dogs eat the crumbs off the master's table. And Yahushua looked at the woman and said, wow, yes, you're right. It will be done for you. You see that? We must understand these things. It's powerful. It's powerful. Now, Jeremiah 56. Yahweh calls Israel his people and lost. The Messiah spoken of throughout the Old Testament was as the one who would gather the lost sheep. Ezekiel 34, 23 and 24, Micah 5, 4 and 5. Along other, if you were to look at Mark 60, Mark 36, and Mark 14, John 10, Hebrew 13, 1 Peter, and Revelation, you will see these things come into fruition. Yahushai's word to the Canaanite woman also show an awareness of Yahosharal place in God's plan of salvation, in Yahweh's plans of salvation. Yahweh revealed through Moses, aka Moses, that the children of Yahosharal are people unto the Most High, chosen as a special treasure above all people on the face of the earth. Deuteronomy 7:6, Exodus what? Exodus 19, I think it is, somewhere around it. If you will obey my voice, then you are my disciple indeed, say Yahushai. Then you will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Yahweh said to the children of Yahoshuel, if you will obey my voice, then you will be a treasured people unto me above all people. The whole earth is mine. You will be a people above them. I think we need to understand this, because now you have to understand why the world is in the chaos it is. So let me take this time now to just give you some historical facts that's going to change your life. But before I do, I want to play a few clips, because you must understand the beginning. If you do not know your past, you will not know your future. Whosoever controls your past controls your future. The question I must each and every one of you listening to me today: who control the history of your past? If you're a white man, I'm speaking to you. If you're a white Caucasian, I'm speaking to you. Who controlled the history of your past on earth? If you are black, melon, who controlled the history of your past? See, you got to put it into perspective. Types of people on the planet. You know, so you want to say, well, some is Chinese, Japanese, Indian. Listen to me, man. There's two types of people on the planet. Either you're black or you're not. It's just that simple. There's two nations on earth. Either you're the kingdom and the nation of the Most High God or you're not. It's just that simple. Two choices on earth. It's just that simple. There's choices on earth, ladies and gentlemen. Choices on earth. Either you're right or you're wrong. It's just that simple. We complicate things. Now, what if I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that there was only one language on the planet before there were many? Would you believe that? That all the earth spoke one language? Now you say, make you out of your darn mind. What if I was to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that all the earth of humanity, all of humanity came out of one man. You notice I didn't say one woman? Because many people think the world came out of one woman. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Hear me very fully. You got some today, the woman, the phallus, the penis, and the vagina. And they call the woman, the womb of the woman, the universe, and they call the womb of the woman the God. Some people worship the woman as God because she's the mother of creation. But you see, you got to go back. Yahweh took the woman out of the man. Is the first one that gave birth. We just didn't do it like how it didn't take place like how the woman would give birth. It took place because Yahweh set up the setup. The first one to give birth is the man. When Yahweh took a rib out of his womb. That's why the woman is called womb man today. Because she was taken out of man. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it was started by one man. That is because that's the way Yahweh has set it up. And whether you believe it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you will accept it or not, the moon will never outshine the sun. And lies will never outshine the truth. Never. Because lies is based in darkness. That's why anyone who's a walk in the light. And I'm a child of light. I can't even stand darkness, man. The only time I revere darkness is when I'm sleeping. But as long as I'm up, I want light. Turn on the light, man. Darkness have its place. The world was created out of darkness. You need to understand this now. Darkness is powerful. The Most High God called light out of darkness. Darkness was here first. And he separated the light from the darkness. And the light he called day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning was the first day. And going forward, God, Yahweh, always operate in the light, the daylight. But he clothed himself in darkness. Read the scriptures. So I'm going to say some things to you that's going to blow you away. Until you put the truth in perspective. Until you understand the original intent of the one who created. Until you understand these things, you will never walk in the light. You will remain in darkness for the remainder of your life and all of eternity. God created, Yahweh created humanity through one man. And if you can bring yourself to understand this truth, I'm talking about whether you're black or white, Indian, whatever you are, you have to bring yourself to the perspective of understanding the truth. The only way you can be set free if you know the truth. And to know the truth, you have to hear it. And it comes from the word, the very word of Most High God. Because the word became flesh and dwelt among us. So, I'll play a couple of clips. Oh, before I play this script, before I play this inserts here. I have a friend named Jonas Woods. If you guys don't know who Jonas is, y'all should look him up. Look him up on Facebook, YouTube. Amazing singer. White guy. White. Amazing singer. And I call him a friend. And I don't think we have a mutual friend, and we were having a conversation the other day, and he, I guess he believed that I am a racist. I guess if you look at my post, you probably believe I'm a racist too. But if you really look at, according to the word of Mr. Farrakhan, Honorable Elijah Imar, he said a racist is not, we look at the word racist as a derogatory term because that's how we were taught it. We were taught racism as a derogatory term. But if you were to look at the word itself, right, and the meaning of the word, a racist is one who loves his race. The problem is when you think that race is better than any other race. All right? The problem, you are superior. That's one of the problems on the planet today, is when you put your race above all race. I do not have the authority to do that. But Yahweh does. A racist is one who loves his race, love its people. And I love my people. I love being black. I love being black. I can't be anything but black. I love it. I didn't understand what it meant to be black because my ancestors, my mom, grandmother, great grandmother, and their parents were born under slavery. So all I knew of myself and my history is what I was taught through slavery. And the monstrosities of things that was done to my people. And yes, if you're white, I have the right to be pissed off. I have the right to hate you as a white person. I have the right to do that. However, I choose not to do that. To me, I don't judge a man by his color of his skin, but the content of his character. That's the dream that Martin have. I judge a man content of his character. Because yes, everyone can be saved. Everyone can have truth. But when it comes to understanding race, and you have to understand the word race created by white people to put classes of black, white, yellow, pink, blue, red, green, whatever. That is our history. It's the European history. But there is history before America was a country. There's history before Europe was a country. There's history before that. And these are the history that you and I don't know who we are. Even the very Europeans themselves don't know who they are relative to the true history. And so when I find my history, I am proud to share it. When I found truth about my history, I'm going to share it on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and every social media that I have. Why? Because I didn't know it. And since I didn't know it, I wanted to know it. And I want my people to know it. And I want you to know it. Whether you're black, white, blue, green, or yellow, or pink, or red. Because the truth is the truth. And no matter who is saying it, truth is truth. And if you can bring yourself to understand truth, then you will truly be set free. But your government, your religion, and your churches has been lying to you. Whether they're black, white, part of this world system of government, churches, religion. They're lying to you and have been lying to you. The system of this world is a lie. The matrix of lie. It's a web that traps us in lie. And that's why the Most God says he what? Declares the end from the beginning. Exodus chapter 19 and Deuteronomy. I think it was Deuteronomy 7, 2. But Exodus chapter 19, watch this. Exodus chapter 19, watch this now. Is it 19? Let me see. Well, let me find it here. I'll find it here. Yes. Exodus chapter 19. Watch this. And verse 5. Watch this now. Now, therefore, if you obey my voice, you know what? Let's go back. Because you have to take a look at who he's talking to. There are nations on the planet, but the Most High God was talking to one. The one who he has chosen for himself to put his name in our midst, to put his name in our souls, so that the world may know that he is God through this nation. Yahweh are the light of the world. He wasn't speaking to everybody. He was speaking only to his disciples. And he said, you are the light of the world. Because he is the light of the world. He said, we're like a candle. Nobody lights a candle and put it in a candlestick and on the bushel. They put it in a candlestick so it can be seen. Why do you think I'm on here doing what I'm doing? A city on a hill cannot be hidden. You are the salt of the earth. Salt give flavor. Not everybody gonna like it. But the truth has to be spoken. Listen to this. Verse 19. Exodus 19:1. Let's go to 19:1. This is at Mount Sinai. You know, it's not Sinai, it's actually Sinai. But this is something that was taken away from us too, our original tongue that the whole world speak. We still have it today. You said, oh, this language is lost. So what if that language is lost? If everybody spoke one language and that language is lost today, how would you get a translation of the Bible into other tongue if the language was lost? Come now. I'm here to open your eyes, ears. If the lost, how do we get translation? Then you'd have to, because the question you have to ask is that where is this translated from? Oh, it was translated from Greek, Canaanite, Hebrew, Akkadian. Where did they get those translations from? God, Yahweh, is the God of their Hebrew, then his word has to come. Then how do you know the truth? How compare to what will you compare the truth? If you don't know the writings of the truth, how are you going to know and accept that this is true? Watch this. Exodus 19. In the 3rd month, when the children of Yahoshuel was gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were depart from Rephilim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Yahoshuel camped before the mount. And Marsha, aka Moses, went up unto Yahweh, the Most High, call unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus said thou, say, thus shall, let's do it again. And Marsha went up unto Yahweh, and Yahweh call unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Yahushua. So Moses called unto Yahweh, and Yahweh spoke to him, and he said, This is what I want you to tell the house of Yahushua. Listen to this now. Not the house of Canaan, not the house of the Philistines, not the house of Moabites, or the Shemites, or these other ites then, but the house of Yahushua. He says, You have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto who? Myself. That's what he's saying. I brought you to me, not to some nation, not to some church, not to some religion, unto me. Now, therefore, listen to what he's saying here. Now, therefore, you will obey my voice. You will hear what I say and do what I say. If you will obey my voice, not only obey my voice, but keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine, and you shall be unto me peace and a holy nation. These are the things that you shall speak to the children of Yahushua. Not only would they be a treasure unto him above all people. You see, he said, all the world is his. All the nations of the world belongs to the Most High God, but you shall be a treasure unto who? Himself above. You know what it means? He put the children of Yahushua above the nation of the world. Like it, want to understand it, want to believe it, or not the way it is, that's the way it still is today. God have a people on the planet that he puts above other people. But this racism, white supremacy wants to think that they are that people who is above everyone else. That's why they sell bleaching cream. Even Chinese people are bleaching. They're bleaching for a minute. You look at our black brothers and sisters, they bleaching their damn sins to become white. Fake eyes, fake lights, straighten their hair. Our women today, you can't see our women today. They all have these weave hair. We don't carry those kind of hair. We carry beautiful hair. We don't carry these things. They straight hair. They put on the makeup to look white. And they classify that as beautiful. And you don't realize your position. You don't realize that Yahweh created you for this way for a purpose. And he created you first. The black man is the first man. Basic truth number one. And your white scientist has proven the fact. Your Chinese scientists, your Indian scientists, all of them have proven the fact that every single person on the planet comes out of the black man. It's a scientific fact. But nobody wants to believe that. But you read the Bible and it tells you from one man he created all man. You don't want to believe that. So your science tells you, your science told you that two white person cannot create a person of melanin origin. You can't create a black man. Two white people cannot create a black person. It is the haplogroups, the DNA group, it doesn't match. But two black from the blackest of Africa, the blackest of Ethiopia, can create a white child with blonde hair and blue eyes. 100% DNA match, RNA match. Proven science. So that's by that logic, the science told you that, let me just use these colors here, just to represent the black and the white, that two blacks can create one white, but two white cannot create one black. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, based upon science, the black had to be here first. So if Adam and Eve was white, then the question now ask yourself is, how did they produce us? All right, don't let me. I'm gonna play some. I'm gonna play some clips here, and these are just these. These are the first truth that you got to come to in order to get to freedom, in order to get to understanding. First man on the planet, the black woman is the first woman on the planet, and that God Yahweh has a people above other people. Now, I'm not telling you this. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying I'm above you. I'm saying what I'm saying, not because I'm black, I'm above you. What I'm saying is what Yahweh said, what came from scripture. Let me play you some clips that's gonna just hurt your feelings a little bit. Why would Adam and Eve? That would be them telling everybody on earth strictly came from black people. That would be them telling you if Adam was made in the image of God, then God would have to be black himself. How do I know Adam and Eve are black? Are you stupid? Show me one white woman who gave birth to a black baby. You can't. If Adam and Eve were white, then where all the rest of the people come from? It was written in Hebrew, something that speaks Latin. So how the hell you wrote the Bible in a language you can't even speak? And another thing, stop saying the Bible was made around 300 AD. The Bible was finished around 300 AD. Christ came preaching the Old Testament. I bet none of y'all can tell me when the Old Testament was done with. Oh, all right. Yeah, folks don't want to talk about that part. All right. So, the moral of this clip is this. White people, Adam and Eve, could never be white. Adam and Eve could never be white. Now, I talked to you earlier about this guy, Jonas Woods. I've been posting a lot of Black history on my page. About myself, I've never found her. I'm finding out my history of who I am as a Black man, who I am as the children of Yahushua, the true descendant of Abraham, of Jacob, Isaac and Jacob. I am a true descendant. I found this out reading the scriptures, chasing my lineage to the Atlantic slave trade. And if you read Deuteronomy in its entirety, but read Deuteronomy 28 and read all of that, you will see that the children of Yahushua have to come. It's a must based upon biblical references that the children of Yahushua have to come through the Atlantic. Why? Because of a curse. A curse was put on us. We were banished out of his sight. I mean, you read the whole book. Read the whole Bible. Children of Israel did that which was evil in the sight of God. And what he does, he brings nations from the north, nations from this area, bring evil upon them. And some of them killed, some of them get sold into slavery. It's a constant up and down battle. But he had talked about this long before. And how we were going to take on ships. And he was going to see the world. And if you look at but again, ladies and gentlemen, what you don't know, you got to put the puzzle together. If you are a regular watcher on this, oh, you'll hear me again. You have to put the Bible in perspective. You have to take the little precept upon precept, line upon line. Got to put it together so you can get a good understanding of what's going on. And when you put it together, you're going to see some certain things that are very clear. And it's hard to accept because it's not the norm. It's not what the masses is used to. So they're not gonna accept this. No wonder Yahushua said, all the world will hate you. Black people probably are hating me for speaking this kind of language because they so see their Lord and Savior as this white guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. But you know that before Europe became a nation, that the Moors ruled Europe for over 800 years? Do you know the history of your race as black people? Watch this. I'll play another clip here. Watch this. Play this other clip.
Africans discovered them. That's not a fact. Facts change. Look at the evidence. Okay. The Olmec colossal heads. These 11-foot tall, 20-ton boulders found off the Gulf of Mexico dating back to 900 BC. Africans discovered America. That's not a fact. Facts change. Look at the evidence. Africans discovered America. That's not a fact. Africans discovered America. That's not a fact. Facts change. Look at the evidence. Okay. The Olmec colossal heads. These 11-foot tall, 20 Mexico dating back to 900 BC. What about them? I mean, look at their faces. Some of them look Native American, yeah. But others, big noses, big lips? Come on, the Africans fuck. Why would huge African heads be in Mexico? The Olmecs and the Africans coexisted. It wasn't a journey of conquest, but one of trade. West Africans had copper, metalwork, and gold, and Mexico had maize, corn. Then where's the evidence? There's maize crops in parts of West Africa that predate, and those crops aren't native to Africa. It could have only been Bronco. So you think Africans went back and forth to the Americas? I mean, yeah, most likely. And how did Africans find their way to Mexico? Well, for one, the Canary Current. It's like a clockwise river stream in the Atlantic Ocean. You could literally sail a boat from West Africa to the Americas with your eyes closed. And two, Africans were master shipbuilders and navigators. We were voyagers, explorers, educators, architects. I can see it happening. Maybe the Africans taught Europeans. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Othello, the Moors were the Muslim West Africa, and they taught Europeans new techniques in science, mathematics, chemistry, physics, philosophy. The Moors ruled Spain for 800 years. You expect me to believe Africans ruled Spain and brought all that to Europe before slavery? Yes, there were well-lit paved roads in Spain hundreds of years before a paved street in Paris or a street lamp in London. Africans were. You make the Moors sound like the Jetsons and the Europeans like the Flintstones. Tension. But the Moors designed modern cities and lived in palaces, while Europeans slept in barns alongside their animals. That's disgusting. The Moors taught European tablecloths. Many of the things you attribute being advanced. Okay, back to Africans discovering America. Oh, dude, with everything you just heard, could you not see how it's possible for an advanced people to journey to the Americas while Europe was literally still in the Dark Ages? There must be another eyewitness besides the Africans. Yes, Christopher Columbus wrote in his journal how Native Americans confirmed that black-skinned people came southeast on big boats, trading in gold-tipped spears, long before he arrived. If this is so concrete, how come it isn't common knowledge in history books? Well, whoever controls the past controls the future, right? Why can't we just look to the future? Why is the past so important to you? Let's say the day you were born, up until last week, I erased your memory. All your experiences, everything you know to have been your existence, gone. How would you feel? I mean, I'd be lost, afraid, because you can't plan for your future without knowing your past. That's why history is so important. And you want everyone to know this. Could you imagine No.
That's powerful, eh? Whoever controls your past controls your future. You see why you're kept a slave. Now you see why you're kept in the dark. Now you see why you're kept you're kept being tamed. And you go after the image of freedom and not freedom itself. You want to wear the chain and you want to wear Gucci and you want to wear and have the nice house and drive the nice car and own business. I'm here to tell you, I have all of that stuff. Yet, I'm giving it all away, all up. Because when you're truly free, ladies and gentlemen, when you're truly free in here, when the kingdom of God is raised in your heart and you're raising the heart of kingdom, you go and sell everything you have to buy that field. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so free in here, man. So free in my mind because I finally found the truth of the God I serve, his name, the Mashiach he sent, his true name. He's not this white guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. He's a black man. And his name is Yahoshua. I'm sorry, Yahoshua. And his name is Yahoshua. I know this gonna freak some of you out. I know some of you thinking I'm crazy, and it's fine. You have the right to think how you want to think. You have the right to be pissed off at me and be upset with me. You do have that right. I'm not gonna take that from you. That's your right. You either live by it or you die by it. And you're going to live and die by what you believe. And I'm telling you, live and die by this. Because it's the truth. I know who I am now. I know which God I serve. I know about the Mashiach and what he's done for me. You can't fool me. You can't deceive me. Because I know now. And why? Because he opened up this to me. It is not me who is, I'm nothing here. Turn your Daniel chapter 9. You got to put the piece into perspective, ladies. When you put the piece together, you will see the whole. Daniel chapter 9, please. Watch this. And then I'm going to play another clip. Daniel chapter 9, if you're just joining me, my name is Mecca Albania. Like page on YouTube and Facebook, TikTok and YouTube, Facebook and YouTube at Michael Sewell SR. And you can follow me on TikTok at Mecca Albania Hoshoral. MAYCHAALBANYAHSHARAL. And I have a backup TikTok, which I like you guys to help me to get to 1,000. This one is on my personal phone. Carry around. Help me to get 1,000 followers. I think I'm about 238, 39. I need about 700 plus to go to give me that 1,000 so that I can go live. I would like to go live. I like to speak live. I like to see your comments and interaction as well. The backup page is Ake once more. Ake once more. AKHAY. AKHAYONESMORE. HAYONESMORE. Okay, once more. Please go over there. I have 3,000 of you on TikTok on Make a Our page. If 700 of you just go over there now and just like that page, you would have accomplished that right away. So please help me to get there. If for any reason we get disconnected or cut off, you can always follow me on Facebook and YouTube. Truth Matters Broadcasting, T.M.B for short. Truth Matters Broadcasting is where it's a personal ministry. It's not a church. I would call it the T.M.B family because we're coming together under one belief system. But I wouldn't say belief system. I said belief understanding because I wouldn't like really dealing with system. Kingdom of God is the kingdom of God is run by one, and it's the King, and he's the he's not a cruel dictator. He's not a wicked dictator, but he's a dictator. He tells you how it is, and that's the way it is. All right. The kingdom of heaven is not a democracy, right? It's not a democracy where you can come in and bring your people in and vote this and vote that. It doesn't work that way. The kingdom of heaven is run by a king, and it is a dictatorship. Whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, it's just the way it is. Take it or leave it. This is the way it is. That's right now. So yes, please like and share. Please share this live while we're talking so others can hear it. And you can go back on my page and check out some of the lives that I put up there. All right. So I did ask you to turn to Daniel chapter 9. This is very, very important to really understanding some things that's going to bring you to a close here of where we at in the dispensation of time. Daniel chapter 2 will, what I've learned and what I've seen and what I've gathered from just these scriptures that we have right here that has stand the test of time and still here with us today. This, what I gather out here by the Spirit of the Most High God, is that Daniel chapter 2, the statue that was shown by Nebuchadnezzar, we're in the toes. We've identified the toes as the 10 nations of the deceased Roman Empire, which was dissolved in the year 476 AD and split into 10. Those 10 nations are around today, ladies and gentlemen. The names of the nation has been changed. And you have to understand, achieve people and keep in error or in darkness, you have to change things. And I have said before, and I'll say it again, a wise man once said, whoever controls your past controls your future. The 10 nation of the Roman deceased empire is the Alemanni, the Lombards, the Burgundians, the Franks, the Swiss, the Saxon, the Sui. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me. The Sui. Oh, I think I wrote it here. Let me. Yep. What am I missing here? Visigoths, Spaniards. I feel like that's why I can't find it. Yes, the Visigoth. Let's go back again. The Alemannis, the Burgundians, the Franks. So that's 1, 2, 3. The Alemanni, the Burgundians, the Franks, the Lombard, the Saxon, which is 5, the Sui, which is 6, Visigoths, which is 7, the Vandals, which is 8, the Hillary, which is 9, the Ostrogoths, which is 10. These are the 10 deceased nations of, this is the 10 deceased nations of the Roman. These are the 10 toes from the statue that actually lines up with our historical. Let me go down into my big Bible. I have a big Bible here, the big book. I call it Berta. It was given to me by a friend of mine when I first joined the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Yep. But I am happy to say I am no longer called the Seventh-day Adventist, because Seventh-day Adventist religion created on this planet, and therefore could not be, even though some of the greatest teachings and findings that I have come to find came out of that church. But when you understand the kingdom of God, then you no longer have to seek and search this world for the truth Hold on, let me just find Daniel here. If I could find Daniel. Oh, yeah. Come on, come on. Ezekiel. Yeah, there we go. All right, yes. Daniel chapters, yes. So, like I was telling you, those are the 10 nation that came out of the Roman Empire. And if you look at Daniel chapter 2 is going to show you the plain the vision and where we are dispensation of time. You got to understand that. Now, as I search that and then I look at the 400-year curse that we're under, the father told Abraham that his actual name is Abraham. It doesn't pronounce Abraham. It's actually Abram. It's still Abram. Even though his name is changed, it's still pronounced Abram. The meaning of his name is changed. Anyway, so your children would be in a land that they're on, and after that 400, I will come and drive out the nation to serve as slave. If you were to really take a look at our history and you look at the Egyptians, when the children of Yahushua was in Egypt, you will understand that they weren't be slave. They did not serve the Egyptian as slaves 400 years. Look at it now. You got to look at it. They were in Egypt, but they didn't serve the Egyptians 400 years. Because if you look at the past, go back to the past, you'll see that when Joseph was sent into Egypt, Joseph was sent into Egypt because he was sold by his envious brothers to some people that were by slave. Then he was taken to Egypt, and Potiphar by Joseph, and Yahweh blessed Joseph, and that was a plan to bring Joseph into Egypt so that his name would be known in Egypt, because in Egypt they serve many gods. Now, the Egyptians and the Ethiopians are of the Hamites tribe, come out of Noah, going way back there. Noah have 3 sons, 3 daughters. That's the Hamites. That's why they were of a darker complexion. But I'm not going to get into that because I want to take you off what I'm trying. So you must understand that they did not serve the God of heaven. They serve these different gods. They serve the sun god. They serve the Nile god. They serve the all the different gods of harvest, and Tammuz and Anubis, and all these different gods they serve. So the great God Yahweh was setting himself up to show these people who is God. Go bring Joseph in there. But before Joseph came, if you go back way back, you would see that Abram went to Israel. And Abram was so afraid of the king, because back then the kings will kill, if they see a beautiful woman, they would kill the husband of that beautiful woman and then take that woman as their wife. So I would be without a wife. I'd be dead, because my wife is beautiful. You see what I'm saying? I love that woman. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even take her to Egypt, because I would really to take her, right? So that's what would have happened. So when Abram went into Egypt, Abram lied. Well, he didn't really lie. He deceived the king, but he didn't really lie, because you're my sister, so that they won't kill me. So by saying Sarah, our Saharian, was beautiful black sister there, you know what I mean? And I have to say, and this is no bias, but our sisters are the most beautiful in the whole wide world, man. And that's just me there. All right, back to what I was saying. Yeah, but he didn't really lie, because if you read the scriptures, Abraham and Sarah are actually brothers and sisters. How many of you knew that? How many of you knew that Abraham and Sarah, his wife, are actually brothers and sisters? They're sisters. They don't have the same mother. but they have the same father. And Abraham married his sister, his half sister. Now let me show you my half sister. Here's my half sister here, and she's beautiful. That's my sister right here. Look at her. That's my sister, right? Now this beautiful sister of mine is my half sister, and that's like me marrying her. Today, there's a whole lot of laws about that, and people would make you look like, ugh. The laws then and the laws now, and how people operate then and now is a whole different ball game. Things change. Not only you could marry your half sister, but you could have more than one sisters. You could have more than one wives. Abraham had plenty of wives, and all of the patriarch had plenty of wives. It seems to be acceptable. I don't know why. I don't know how and why it's acceptable, but it seems to be acceptable. And so in a lot of days where Yahushua said, if you go back to the beginning, you'll see that he created one wife for one husband, and he created them, and he put them together, and he said, be fruitful and multiply. It wasn't Yahweh's intention that a man should have 4 wives, but somehow, I don't know. I can't get into all of that right now. I know the 12th tribe of Yahushual came from 4 women. And if you look at my history, I have 7 children with 4 women. So it seems to be in our history, but it is what it is. It doesn't change negate the fact that those 7 children are mine, right? And that Yahweh will bless them individually, right? So going back to what I'm trying to say here is that Joseph was brought into Egypt. So it wasn't the first time Yahweh bring his people into Egypt. All right. And Joseph was brought into Egypt. And through the whole process, Joseph became the second highest in command, and that's command to the king, the Pharaoh. And the only reason why Joseph wasn't the highest is respect to the throne. So Joseph became the leader of Pharaoh, of Egypt, and saved them through the prophecies that would come, that there would be 7 plenty years of good and 70 of want, and everybody would have died, the whole world. And that's how Egypt became the richest nation on earth. Egypt had food. And if you don't think that's going to happen again, you have something coming. When they control your food and your resources, you will sell yourselves to stay alive. Trust me on that. It's going to happen. It's coming again. They will take your money. They'll take your house. They'll take your car. They'll take they'll take your business. And this C-19 just show you that they'll find ways to make you surrender. So it's about to come down. All right. So what I'm saying is that then his family and his brothers and his father came down. At that point, Joseph's mother died, and they came down to Egypt, and they were fishing in Egypt, or living great life in Egypt. And then after that generation died, a new generation came up, and the king was pissed off that they were multiplying more than them, and they can easily rule them and stuff, and then they start enslaving them. But if you look at the history of the slaves in the time that we lived with them, it wasn't 400 years. What am I saying? From the time of the Atlantic slave trade, the first slave that landed here in America was, according to the records, the so-called records, was 1619. So 2019, ladies and gentlemen, 2019 would be 400 years. But didn't the slave go in 1865? What Emancipation Act? Were they set free as slaves? You knew what happened after the Emancipation Act? Then you have the lynching and the redlining and all these things. We're still slave, right? We're still slave. Yes, on paper. And all of that was political, because even Abraham. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that. What I want to draw your attention to is the 400 years. The 400 years that passed, the statue of Daniel chapter 2, where in the 10 toes, I just call you the 10 toes. I'm going to identify those 10 toes. And then you have the Jubilee year. The Jubilee year was 49 years, and the 50th years of Jubilee. Ladies and gentlemen, 2024, some people want to tell you it's 2020. Some people want to tell you it's 2025. We believe it's 2024. Now, why? Remember I tell you when Yahweh created the first 3 days in the beginning, the first 3 days, he didn't make the sun, moon, and star. And every counting we're counting is based off the calendar, the lunar calendar, and the lunar cycle, and the solar cycle, and the Roman Greco calendar, and the Hebrew Canaanite calendars. But there's 3 days that was created before. Nobody's calculating those 3 days. So we believe that 2024 will be the year of Jubilee. And I believe that 2023 is the year, between now and 2023 is the year we should be leaving America. We should be getting out of this place. We should go back to the wilderness where the Most High God can your OMPP, right? This is if you're OMPP. I'm not calling anybody else to do this. Do whatever you want. I'm speaking to if you can chase your lineage back to the Atlantic slave trade route, I'm talking to you specifically because you are the children of Yahushua. You are the children of Yahushua. So I'm speaking directly to you. So if you're from any other nation, if you're Gentiles, I'm not talking to you. I'm really not talking to you. But if you understand what it means to join your, if you notice when Yahweh freed the children of Yahusharel out of Egypt, he did not just take Yahusharel out. He didn't just take them out. There was a mixed multitude that came out with them. So there were people from slaves from the children of Yahusharel wasn't the only slaves in Egypt. The children of Yahusharel wasn't only the only slave that see and witness the God Yahweh. They were not the only one that joined themselves to Yahweh. And half the people that came out of, well, almost all out of Egypt never made the promised land, because though they were taken out of Egypt, Egypt was not taken out of them. Many of them died in the wilderness. It's their children get to see the promised land. Read your Bibles. So what I'm saying is the time of Daniel, the 400-year slavery, the curse, which is going to end. And if you understand the Jubilee, you will understand that in the Jubilee year is where God resets the nation. People, this is the 70th Jubilee. The last one, whether people believe it or not. This is the time of the coming of the Mashiach. We just don't know the hour nor the day. So I'm not going to predict no day and no hour. But I'm telling you, we're at the very end of time. Now, I'm going to read Daniel chapter 9 to show you that we're in a 23-year prophecy and we're in a 70-week prophecy that's going to last to the time of the end. That all the prophecy was shut up. That's why no one could know it. No one could understand it. No one knew the name Yahweh. No one knew the name Yahushua. The prophecy was shut up until the time of the end. We're at the time of the end. That's why knowledge are increasing. You're going to see, watch this and mark my words, you're going to see how many black people are being free. And when I say free, to own businesses, to become millionaires, you're going to see how many black people are getting information that was buying houses, buying land, driving nice cars, jets, and travel all over the place. You're going to see a lot of things going to be open to us that was once closed to us, because the freedom is here. And you're going to see a lot of black people killing themselves. If you think killing each other and hating each other because they're trying to get to the top of this stupid system, pie system. And they don't realize that Yahweh is calling them out so he can create the nation of Yahusharel once again. He tell you something, he will do it. But here's the thing, only a remnant's going to be saved. You know why? Because only a remnant's going to listen. Only a remnant's going to come out. And then you have the Gentiles. We're in the time of the Gentiles. And the time of the Gentiles is coming to an end. They have trampled on the court of God, changed. Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel real quick. Ezekiel, listen to this. Ezekiel chapter 22. Watch this. Ezekiel 22. We're going to go back to Daniel, but let's go to Ezekiel 22 real quick here. Watch this. Oh, sorry. Ezekiel 22, verse 23. Let's go to Ezekiel 22, verse 23. I'm going to show you guys something. Watch this. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 23 says, "And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man." See, Yahushua was not the only one who was called Son of Man. Think about that. Anyway, Son of man, say unto her, thus art the land that is not clean, nor rain upon the days of the indignation. There is conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravaging the prey. They have devoured souls, they have taken the treasures and precious things, they have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests, her what? Her priests, her what? Her pastors, preachers. Yes, I'm talking about her priests. Her priests have violated my laws and have profaned my holy things. They put no difference between the holy and the profane. Neither have they showed difference between unclean and clean. Did they not tell you can eat anything? They tell you can eat pork and grace now. Ultimate is done away with it. They put no difference between it. Watch this now. And have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths. Did they not tell you that the Sabbath is done away with? That we keep Sunday now in remembrance of Jesus? Did they not tell you that? What did it say here? And have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profane amongst them. See what he says? They profane the name of the Most High God. They have lied to you. They have lied. Your government, your history from you, hid it from not only us, they have hid it from themselves. Kind. We're coming up in a time, ladies and gentlemen, where the Most High God is going to reset the earth and put Israel back in its place as a people above all other people. What I'm here to tell you, the Daniel 2 prophecy has come true. We see the Babylonian Empire, which was in 605 BC to 530, and the Persians, which overtake the Babylonian Empire in 539 AD, 31 BC. We see the Greeks who came and overtook Medium and the Persian Empire in 331 AD to 168 AD. We see the Roman Empire that overtake the Greek Empire in 168 BC, 76 AD. We see the 10 kingdoms arrive in the year 538 AD. But you must understand the prophecies. Because if you don't understand the prophecies, and if you don't understand what's here, how are you going to understand what's tomorrow? If you don't understand what's today, you're not going to understand what's tomorrow. So let me draw your attention now to the 10 heads. The 10 heads. When you read Daniel chapter 2, Daniel chapter 7. In chapter 7 and chapter 2, it talks about a little horn. When the Roman Empire was split into 10, this prophecy tells us that there will be another kingdom rising from little that will come up amongst the 10, and that little horn power will destroy 3 of the 10 horns and left 7. We identify, not only we, but all of the patriarch, starting from Martin Luther, all of them all the way down, has identified them as the little horn power in Daniel and Revelations. So if you're a Protestant, if you're a Protestant of any kind, the head of your church has identified the papacy as the little horn. But we are in the prophecy now where all of the children has a mother. Remember now, Protestantism came out of Catholicism. And I don't want to tell you, don't even pride yourself of being a Protestant, because Protestants were murderers. They were no different from the Catholics, the papacy. Because when they came out, they have their rights and their ranks and their belief system. And if you don't believe what they believe, they kill you too. So don't think that your church is a saint. All of the churches, whether you be Baptist, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, Pentecostal, Episcopal, all of them murdered millions of people. No one telling you these histories, but it's there. You just got to search for it. It's there. Millions of people died in these new Protestant religion. They're no different. They believe, and if you don't, you die. That was the price you pay for not believing. And what would people do? They would flee. They would flee, and because they believe differently, they would flee and start another religion. And when they start another religion, because they want to protect their belief system, they kill off everybody who don't believe it. And people will flee from that, and flee from that, and flee from that. And that's how they became children of the papacy. But all of these religion, ladies and gentlemen, has a mark. Yes, you heard me. A mark. It's called the mark of the beast, which is Sunday observance. Sunday, mark of the papacy. And you don't have to believe me. Just go read their catechism. Go on their website and search it up. Is Sunday the mark of their ecclesiastic authority? And they will tell you. Ask any priest and they'll tell you. What is Sunday? First, they're going to tell you it is the day of our Lord. And guess what? You can identify with that. Because what? We keep Sunday as a memory of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Sound good? Why wouldn't you do that? Yet there's no command in the scriptures ever. The disciples never kept it. Jesus never kept it. God never commanded. If you read Hebrews 4, it will tell you. If Jesus has given them rest, would he not have spoken of it another day? In the newer translation, they change it to Joshua. If Joshua has given them rest. But Joshua had no power to give nobody rest. Moses had no power to give nobody rest. Only God can give you rest. James Version, it tells you if Jesus have given them rest, would he not have spoken of another day? So it's a lie. This little horn power, the papacy, came up amongst the 10 deceased of the Roman deceased empire. And when I told you the name, the Heruli, the Vandals, the Ostrogoths, Alemanni, Burgundian, Franks, Lombard, Saxon, Sui, and the Visigoths. Now, I told you these names, and you don't know these names. You probably never heard of these names. Because that's how you keep history locked up. You change the names. And if you change the names, you change narrative. You shift the paradigm. So now let's show you what the names are and who they represent in today's world. The Alemanis, ladies and gentlemen, are the Germans. That's what they're called today. Germans. You look at the history of Germans. What Hitler tried to do, call himself the third. You know the history. I'm not going to get into that. And what was his plan? To unite the Roman Empire, to bring it back together. Hitler was Catholic. Whether you guys understand it, look in all the pictures. Look at your history. Go up to Google and turn it. You'll see all the archbishops and them beside him. I'm not going to get into that. Who are the Burgundians today, ladies and gentlemen? The Burgundian Swiss. And how do they play a role in this? They're the bankers, man. They keep all the money. You want to hide your money from America? You just put it in the Swiss account. Huh? You wire your money over there. They control the money. Who are the Franks today, ladies and gentlemen? Who are the Franks today? They were changed. Their names were changed to the French. Look at the history of the French. I want you to stick and just look at the names I'm calling and see how they rule in our slave day. Look and see how they roll in the enslavement of black people. Most people think Africans were slaves. Africans weren't slaves. Africans sold slaves. That's gonna hurt somebody. Because Africans are Hamites. They are cursed to serve their brothers, Shem and Japhet, as we know them today. You don't think they hate us? Because they were supposed to be slaves to us. Because Noah had cursed them to be slave to his brothers. Think about that for a minute. So it wouldn't be surprise that the brother who was cursed to be a slave will sell his brothers. Again, look at Yahushua. The brothers were so enraged and jealous of Joseph. What did they do? They sold him into slavery. It's not the first time they do. It's not the first brothers killed brothers. As a matter of fact, Yahushua tells us our worst enemies will be the members of our own house. So welcome. So if you think, oh, I can trust my family, you might have another thing coming, because you have to ask now, who really is your family? When Yahushua was inside the house preaching, his brothers, James, and them, and his sisters, biological sisters, and his mother was outside, and sisters are out there. They want you. And then he turned around and looked at them. Who is my mother, my brother, my sister? He said, he turned to his disciples and said, there they are. Here's my mother, here's my brother, and my sisters. They that do the will of my Father which is in heaven. So don't think because you're biological, you can chase your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade. That means you automatically get a free pass. No, you do not get a free pass. They that do the will, you must obey. You must obey to be. And anyone can do this, whether you are of the lineage or you join yourself to the Most High as a Gentile. Because he has sheep that are not of this fold. He has Gentiles, and the full number of the Gentiles must come in. Come on now. All right. So the French, how did they play a role in our slavery today? Just look at it, man. The history's there. Okay, then you have the Lombards. Who are the Lombards? The Lombards is the Italians. I don't have to. I rest my Okay? Saxons. Who are the Saxons today, ladies and gentlemen? Who are they? Who are the Saxons? They are England. And if you think England doesn't play a powerful part in the hidden of your history, as a matter of fact, the damn Bible you're reading comes through, they call it what? The King James Version. Who do you think King James, which country you think the King James, anyway, I'm not even going to get into that. England, they're Romans. Who are the Sui? They're the Portuguese, ladies and gentlemen. And the Visigoths are the Spaniards. They're all Romans. German is Rome. Switzerland is Rome. French is Rome. Italian is Rome. England is Rome. Portuguese Rome. And the Spaniards are Rome. And who are the head of these nations today? The papacy sits as head of these nations today. But true nations, the papacy rules the world. The Pope is the head of world government and world religion. The papacy is the head, the beast, the dragon. The dragon gave that entity its power. And they're ruling the world and has been doing that ever since the year 538 BC. So where are the three nations? The Hurri was deceased or extinct in the year 493 AD. 493 AD is when the papacy eliminates this part of the Roman Empire, which are part of the 10 toes. The Vandals, which we get the name vandalism, that's where it comes from. The Vandals were eliminated year 534 AD. See, the papacy did not take his place on as king of the world until he eliminated these nations. Everybody else was in submission to them. The Ostrogoths were the last of the three to be eliminated. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to believe a word I say. You just got to do your own research, because I'm talking to intellectual, intelligent people. It's right here. Knowledge, they can't hold it anymore. The balloon underneath, the hot air balloon under the water has risen to the top. And it's time for you to open your eyes so you can see it. The Ostrogoths were eliminated in 538 AD. And at that point, the papacy took its place as the king of the world and has been ruling the world ever since, and will rule the world until the end of time, when the rock that is cut out by and hurl and hit the statues at the time of the 10 toes. Well, not 10, but more like 7. But the statues, do you think you could walk if you're missing 2 toes? You still could walk. Strong, and they can't jump and run as you would like, but you'd be surprised. You look at people today, they walk, you can still walk. So 3 toes has been missing and been gone, eliminated, and the papacy has been sitting on the 7 hills. That's why it's called a city on 7 hills. Just like the seas Rome Empire. It's perfect, this matchup. This is why the church is called the Church of Rome. The Bishop of Rome. It's Rome, ladies and gentlemen. Rome is still alive and well. So, with that said, the 4 years Daniel chapter 2, the statue at the 10 toes, and the year of Jubilee, which is coming up in the year 24, I believe close the gap to the fulfillment of the prophecy. I will close here now. Daniel chapter 9. I'm giving you all some things, man. It's a gem now. Check this out now. Daniel chapter 9. I'm going to close here. I think I gave you guys great information to change your perspective on how you see things, to end in some of your history so you can understand who you are and where you are in this time. I'm going to close it up with Daniel chapter 9. So Daniel chapter 9 verse 1 says this. In the year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, and the seed of the Medes, so in the time of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans, in the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of years of the came to Jeremiah the prophet that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. I'm going to show you how all these things are fitting together. This just Jubilee that's coming is 70 years. It's a 70-year Jubilee. Now, if you know anything about the great God Yahweh, you would know that he's a God of 7. Come on now. You can't read the Bible and don't see that. 7 Sabbaths. 7 years of Jubilee. You know what I mean? 50 years. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. 7 churches, 7 spirits, 7, 7, 7. Everywhere. Right? So he's teaching us something here. So again, verse 2, in the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of years whereof the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah. Yaram Yahweh. That's actually announced in our Hebrew source language. It's Yaram Yahweh. I tell you, they changed everything, man. Yaram Yahweh, the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. All right, I want you guys one more time. I'm going to read it one more time, and I want you to see who's at the helm of this. In the first year, in his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books. So he's reading the Bible, the prophecy, and he understood by Jeremiah the prophet. He said, wherefore the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah the prophet, he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. That means in the year 70 years, Yahweh is going to destroy Jerusalem. Who is doing this? Yahweh. Not the nations, not the government, Yahweh himself. Daniel said now, verse 3, and I set unto Yahweh our Elohim to seek by prayer and supplication with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. And I pray unto Yahweh my Elohim and made my confession and said, O Yahweh, O Adonai, the great and dreadful Elohim, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him and to them that keep his commandments. You see, even Daniel understood that. And Daniel understood that covenant and mercy to them that keep his commandments. Commandments. Powerful. If you want to know anything about this God, he's a God of command. We have sinned. So Daniel do some confession, and he didn't leave himself out. He said, yeah, I have sinned too. We have sinned and have committed iniquities, lawlessness. We've gone away from your laws and have done wickedly and have rebel. To rebel is to say, I hear you, but. That's I heard you, but. When you put up in anything, you're in a state of rebellion. I love you, but. I'll do it, but. Anytime you but something, then you but up something, it's a state of rebellion. We have rebelled even by departing from what? Your precept and from your judgment. They have gone away from God. They refuse to do anything he says and live anyway like the people of Yahushua is doing right now, and in religion and this government. Unto thy servants, the prophets. Amos tell us that Yahweh will do nothing but to reveal his secret to his prophets, which spake in thy name to our kings and princes and our fathers and to all the people of the land. O Adonai, righteous belong unto thee, but unto us confusion of face, as it is this day. To the men of Yahodah, we call it Judah, right? They say they changed the name to Judah. The actual name is Yahodah. Now I'll tell you all about that. You guys check out the Ravenous Bird, man. Go and check out the Ravenous Bird on YouTube. Ravenous Bird, RAVENOUSBIRD. Check out this guy because he's going to do some things in your life that's going to just pop you off. And to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Now that word Jerusalem has been also changed and altered. The actual word there is Yahoshalam. Yahoshalam. But they don't want us to know this, because if they use Yahweh, we will actually have a clue as to who we're worshiping, and they don't want that. So they change their names. It's just like slavery. In slavery, what they took from you, they took your language, they took your culture, they dressed you like them, and they took your name, and they gave you their names. Every nation does this. When they capture a slave, they change their names, and they have to worship their God or die. That is why my name is Sewell today. My last name, my surname, Sir, prefix, surname, suffix, is Sewell. Where did that come from? That's not from my ancestors. That's not from my land. That came from my slave owners. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, who were white. I'm carrying the name of the slave owners that own my family this day. I still carry their name. Not anymore. My name is Yahushua. And guess what? I'm going to have that change before I leave. It doesn't really matter anyway. It doesn't really matter at this point, because I know now. I know my true identity. All right? But anyway, that's why I said my name is Mikael Ban, right? It means Michael Mikael. I'm a Yahushua. That's what I mean. I'm son of God. That's what it actually means. My name means Michael, the son of God. That's what it was. And it's crazy, because my name Michael means who is like unto God. That's what it means. That's my father gave me that name. I don't think he knew what my name really meant, but my name have an implication of being God's son, not the son, like I'm anybody important, or no, I'm not God. Let me make sure to make that clear for you guys. Leave here saying, well, Mike says he's preaching, say he's God. No, I'm not God. I'm not God. No, nor ever will be God. All right. When I say son, I just mean I'm a child. That's what I mean. I'm just a child of God. That's it. That's it. So just for the record, for the record. All right. Judah, which is Yahodah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, which is Yaroshalem, and unto all Israel, which is Yahosharal, that are near and that are far off. So he's talking to us. Through all the countries, listen to this. Listen to this now. You have to remember now, Daniel was in slavery at this time. This time it was the Medes, because he had solved the Babylonian kingdom. Remember, Daniel interprets the dream, not interpreting, but explain the dream given to Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel prayed and got the insight and was able to explain the dream to him. And at this point, the Medes and the Persians has taken over the Babylonian kingdom. So in the first year of Darius, which is of the Medes, Daniel had this dream, this vision. He understood. He's reading the Bible and said, wait a minute. Whoa, no. God is going to destroy Jerusalem. And he was upset about it. And then he went and prayed, right? So again, I want you to just read verse 7. O Adonai, righteousness belong unto thee, but unto us confusion of face, as this as at this day, men of Yahudah, and to the inhabitants of Yahushalem, and unto all Yahusharal that are near and that are far off, through all the countries, whether thou hast driven them because of their what? Trespass, that they have trespassed against thee. Urza 9:15, Psalms 119, 137. So you see that Yahweh has driven us out of his sight to all the countries, and he's done it through the Atlantic slave trade. That's sobering, you know. It's sobering to find out that the white man is not my curse. So for my friend Jonas Wood, I'm not racist, man. As to the point where you understand racist. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. There's not a racist blood in my body. I wouldn't know how to do it. As a matter of fact, I didn't learn the word until I was 18 years old when I came to America. America taught racism. America taught me racist. America taught me about slavery. We didn't even learn that stuff in my country where I come from. I learned that here. I learned my history here. And guess who I learned it from? I learned it from the white man. Black people don't talk about slavery. And I think maybe that's one of our biggest things. Only hurt black people talk about slavery. People become like the white man. And they do that in their quest for the American pie. They want to drive the nice car and live in the big houses and take the vacation and have the private jet. That's what's flashed out. You look at our rappers today and our movie stars today, how they live, you know? So that's all they talk about. So when it comes to slavery, it's just one or two people who will keep the dreams alive and tell us our history. And I thank God for those people who said, no, we will never forget. Because everybody wants to, like even Morgan Freeman. Oh, you want to talk about it? Really? Morgan Freeman? Let's not talk about it? And how would I hear it if they didn't talk about it? Morgan Freeman. How on earth would I know Tom Hanks, who's about what, 67 or something like that, maybe today, 67, 63. He've never heard of the Oklahoma massacre. And he's a white man living in America, one of the most influential white men on the planet. He has never heard about Tulsa, Oklahoma up until what, 2 years ago, he said. Think about that for a moment. You know why he heard about it? Morgan Freeman? Because someone spoke about it. We got to talk about it. We always have to talk about it. One of the biggest problems is that we don't remember. Everybody wants to remember different things. Everybody wants to remember. Like Chris want to remember Halloween. You want your history. You don't want them to forget, because if they forget, it will repeat itself. Verse 8, Daniel chapter 9, verse 8. To Adonai our Elohim belong mercy and forgiveness. Though we have rebelled against him, neither have we obeyed his voice of the Adonai Elohim to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. Yes, all, not some, all all of Yahusha have transgressed thy laws, even by departing, that they might not obey his voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Masha, aka Moses, the servant of Yahweh, because we have sinned against him. What? So Daniel said the curse has poured out on us. That curse, ladies and gentlemen, we're still under that curse. It hasn't been lifted yet. Some of you think it was lifted at the cross. It has not. Because the 400-year prophecy, the 70-week prophecy, was not fulfilled at the cross. Look at it. This curse is still under us. And remember now, Jerusalem did not accept the Mashiach. Yahushua did not accept the Mashiach. Therefore, the curse linger. Watch this now. Watch this now. And he has confirmed his word, which he has spoken against us and against our judges that judge us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Masha, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayers before Allah, that we might turn from our iniquities and understood thy truth. Therefore has the Most High watched upon us the evil and brought it upon us. For the Most High is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice. And now, O Adonai, our Elohim, as has brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and has gotten thee renown as to this day. We have sinned, we have done wickedly. O Adonai, according to all thy righteousness, I beseech thee, let thine ears and thy fury be turned away from thy city, Jerusalem, thy holy mountain, because of our sins and for the iniquities of our father Jerusalem, and thy people are become reproach to all that are about us. Now therefore, O Elohim, hear the prayer of thy servants and the supplication, and cause thy face to shine upon thy sanctuary that is desolate, for thy name's sake, for the Lord's sake. O my Adonai, incline thine ears to hear, open thine eyes, and behold our desolation, and the city which is called by thy name. I can tell you, Jerusalem is not his name. Or Jaru is not his name. It's Yahweh. That's why the city is called Yahushalam. For we do not present our supplication before thee for our righteousness, but for thy great mercy. O Adonai, hear. O Adonai, forgive. O Adonai, hear and do. Therefore not for thine own sake. O my Elohim, for thy city and for thy people are called by thy name. So the city is called Yahushalem, and his people are called Yahushua, because his name, Yahweh. And while I was speaking and praying, confessing my sins and the sins of my people, Yahushalem, and presenting my supplication before Adonai my Elohim for the holy mountain of my Elohim, yes, while I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening oblations. And he informed me and talked with me and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding. At the beginning of thy supplication, right over here in chapter 9, when he starts praying, the commandment come forth, and I am come to show thee, for thou art greatly. Therefore, understand the matter and consider the vision. Come on now. So, from Daniel open up his mind to understand, and he started to pray, the answer was given. Ladies and gentlemen, the answer will be given to you when you open up your mind and when you decide to just give your hearts to him, confessing your sins and confessing the sins of your family and the people around you. And God, Yahweh, will hear you. I'm telling you. And he will give you insight that nobody else have. And you're going to think you're crazy. They will think you're crazy. And you'll get things and see things and open the things that, let me tell you something, man, blow you away. You yourself in these things. And so it'll blow you away. All right. So here's the vision. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish transgression. What is happening here? The 70 weeks was not a time for God to just put his wrath on the people. The great merciful God has given the people 70 weeks to finish sinning, breaking his laws, breaking his precept, breaking his, come back to his word. He gave a timeline, ladies and gentlemen. And the timeline was 70 weeks. Now, if you understand anything about a week in Bible prophecy, if you understand about a week, well, in order for you to understand what a week is in Bible prophecy, you have to understand what a day is in Bible prophecy. Now, in Bible prophecy, a day equals 1,000 years. And 1,000 years equal a day. How many days in a week? 7. You see, come on now. I know y'all catching on. The 70 week is 70 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on the 70th Jubilee year. Everything aligned. Yahweh does not do things just, he has a time. Day, ladies and gentlemen, he called a judgment day. Yahushua tells us in Matthew 24, what it's going to be like surrounding that day. Just as it was Noah, so shall it be in his day. There will come wars and rumors of war, pestilence, earthquakes, and all these things. And he said there will be a tribulation, which probably will last 7 years. But he also said those time is going to cut short. So this 7 years might be 3.5 years. It might be 1 year because it's sabbatical. So it could be a day like 1,000 years, 1,000 years like a day. We know that we don't have 1,000 more years. We know this because we're coming up on the 7,000 years of earth, so-called science and proselytes and whatever you want to call them, talking about the earth is billions and billions of years old and 600 million years. They're full of crap. If you look at helium on the planet, how you measure helium, you will see that helium can only be measured in a certain way and it can only be produced a certain way. And when you look at the amount of helium within the hemisphere of the earth, it's not millions and millions of years. Go see a man named Walter White and he'll teach you all these things. You've been lied to, bamboozled, man. People don't know these things, but it's okay. Because the time has been opened now. We're at the time of the end, information has increased. So if you don't know it, it's because you don't want to know it. Okay, you're afraid of change. And knowledge requires change. Truth requires change. 70 weeks has determined for that people to finish transgression and to make an end of sin. What is sin in the definition of the scriptures? Sin is the transgression of the law of Yahweh. That's what sin is. There's also another definition: knowing the good you ought to do and don't do it. Okay. And to make what? Reconciliation for iniquities, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and the prophecies, and to anoint most holy. So the vision entails a whole lot of things here. The 70 weeks entail a whole lot of things here. Let's look at one. Let's count them. 1, to finish transgression. 2, to make an end to sin. 3, to make reconciliation for iniquities. 4, to bring in everlasting righteousness. 5, to seal up the visions. 6, and the prophecy. And number 7, again, to what? To anoint the most holy. Oh my God. If you can't see this, guys, if you can't see this, then you are blind. Verse 25, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore, to build Jerusalem unto the Mashiach, the prince, shall be 7 weeks. You know there's a curse. The Jewish nation right now and all over the world called Jews, the imposters, they have put a curse on Daniel chapter 9, verse 25. Did you know that? Because it pinpoints the Mashiach to the T. Knowing, listen to this, knowing from the going from the know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the command to and to build Jerusalem unto the Mashiach, the prince, shall be 7 weeks, 60 weeks, and the street shall be built again, and the walls, even in turbulent times. I'm not going to spend no time with this because it's going to take me another 2 hours. And after the 62 weeks shall the Messiah be cut off. That means within 3.5 years, the Messiah will die. And then there will be another 3.5 years where the 70 week will end. And if they don't bring in the everlasting righteousness, time ended and given to the Gentiles. And that's why you see these all of this is we are in slavery, and this is what. But let's go up. Let's go up. Let's kind of, verse 26. And after the 62 weeks shall the Mashiach, the Messiah, be cut off, but not for himself, and the people of the prince that shall come and destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolation are determined. If you look at history, history tells us that in the year 70, 70 AD, Jerusalem was destroyed. and it was like a flood. The blood of the slain runs in the streets like rain, heavy rainwater, they said. It's crazy. It was a massacre. All right. Verse 27, and he shall confirm the covenant with many, with what? Many, for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the obligation to cease, and for the overspread of abomination, he will make it desolate, even until the consumption, and that determined shall be poured upon desolation. So he's giving this prophecy of what's going to happen. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just say to you, everything happened just according to the revelation. And that's why I'm here to tell you. There's a lot to break down in this. And, you got to pray, you got to ask Yahweh, and you got to do some research for yourself. Don't depend and determine anyone to do these things for you. You got to do it for yourself. But what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, and what I want to make abundantly clear to you is this. We are at the time of the end. The 70-week Jubilee, the 70-year Jubilee is coming to an end in 24. The 400-year slavery has come to an end in 2019. The next 3 days are 3 years. All right, our 3,000 years. You know what I mean? We're living in that dispensation right now. The Daniel chapter 2 with the 10 toes, we're definitely in the toes. I am here to tell you that there's a tribulation coming and you better be ready. Christianity tells you that you should stay right here because you're going to live in it. I'm telling you that that is not what Yahweh said. Yahweh, we are to come out of her, my people. We are to come out of her, Revelation 18, come out of her that you may not partake in her sins. I'm speaking to Yahweh Shor'al. You know the prophecies. You've been listening to the ravenous bird. It is time for you to pack up and let's get out of this place. For those who remain here, all I have to say is we'll see. I'm no prophet, never claimed to be one. I'm no righteous man, never claimed to be. I am certainly not religious, nor am I a Christian. Never claimed that either. I am just a regular guy who are praying for myself, knocking for myself, seeking for myself, searching for myself, asking Yahweh for myself. And this is what he has given me, and I've seen it clearly. And all I want with as many people as I can, and I'm do this, not do that. I'm to take what you've heard and go decide for yourself and make up your own damn mind. Make up your own mind. Because Truth Matters broadcasting, don't come back and, well, Maker Al told me to go do this. Or Maker Al said this, or Maker Al said this. Man, what I said is of no relevance to you unless you choose to obey it. Unless you choose to get into it and make it happen for yourself. All right, so I am done. This is the message I have. Now I'm going to go back later on and watch this and look at it again because a lot of things I said here, man, just came right to me. I'm going through scriptures and I'm just putting together the things that is flowing through my mind. So I got to go back and watch this thing myself. As for today, Yahushai was sent to the sheep of Yahusharel. That means you. For the Gentiles and those who are not, let me put it this way. For the Gentiles, who are those who cannot trace your lineage through the Atlantic slave trade. If you cannot trace your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade, you are a Gentile, stranger. There is hope for you too. Here's the hope. According to Isaiah 56, the word of Yahweh himself, to the stranger who has joined himself or themselves to him, to love him, to keep his covenant, to keep everyone that keeps his, he said, and do the things that please him. Let me read it. I never like to misquote a scripture. So let me end with this. Isaiah Yashai Ya'o 56. Yashai Ya'o 56. It's Yashai Ya'o. Isaiah 56. Here. Yashai Ya'o. Isaiah 56. Let's do Isaiah 55, verse 6 first. And then we get into Isaiah 56. Let's do Isaiah 55. Isaiah 55 and of verse 6 says, Seek ye the Adonai, the Lord, while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his ways, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Turn unto Adonai Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our Adonai, aka God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts, saith the Most High, are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Most High. For on the earth, so are my ways than your ways, and my thought higher than your thoughts. Isaiah 56 and of verse 3. Neither let the son of a stranger that has joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, the Lord Yahweh has uttered his people. Come on now. Come on now. This is two types of people we're talking about here. The strangers and the people of God. But let not the stranger, neither let the son of a stranger that has joined himself to the Most High, spake, saying, the Most High has utterly separated me from his people. All right? Verse 6. That join, this is any one of you, that you can't chase your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade. This is for you. Also, the son of a stranger that has joined himself to the Most High to serve him, not us, not us. You're not serving us, to serve him and to love the name. To love this name, you must know his name. It's not Jesus. It's not Jehovah. It's not Yeshua. It's not Yahovah. It's not Yahuwah. It's not Yahweh. It's not none of these things. It's not God. It's not God Almighty. It's not I am. His name is Yahweh. And the Mashiach, the anointed one, his name Yahweh Yahweh Shoi, or Yahushai, Yahweh Shoi, to know his name, to love the name of Yahweh, to be his servant, not our servant. We're not looking for vengeance. Vengeance belongs to him, and he will repay. For you to be our slaves. We're not looking for you to come and wash our feet and serve us food. We're not looking for you to do. We're not looking to do to you what you have done to us. That is not our place. We have no place in that. We are here to serve Yahweh. What Yahweh does is Yahweh. He Allah aim. He is God Almighty. All right. So this, it says again, let's go back. Verse 6. Yashai Ya'o. That is Isaiah 56, verse 6. Also, the son of a stranger that have joined themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servant, his servant. Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and to take hold of my covenant. Even them, them is out there. Us is here, them, even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house. Their burnt offering and their shall be accepted upon mine altar, for my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. This is where you come in, ladies and gentlemen. Those that are not of the seed of Abraham, this is where you come in. You have to join yourself to him, to serve, to love his name, to keep his covenant, to do the things that please him. He said he will bring you, he will accept your sacrifice because his house was made for all people. That's where you come in. Doesn't negate or change the fact that we are of the seed of Abraham, the children of Yahushua. But this is where you come in. And I believe a lot of you will come in. Because there's a prophecy in Revelations where it says, I look at the sea of glass, and people from all nation, language, and tongue is on that sea of glass. It will happen, just like that. But don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. You will see the nation of Yahushua gathering themselves in the wilderness, and you will see the hands of God on these people, and you will see the light going out, and everybody will be flocking to it. And that's how you're going to join yourself to the Most High. Everybody's flocking to it. And after these things, tribulation will come. The Mashiach will come down. And when he comes down, he will sit on the throne on the earth, and we will forever be with him. Choice is yours. Do as you will.